The Senate will come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Senator Brooks, Senator Buck, Senator Canizaro, Senator Dennis,
Here.
Senator Doniate, Senator Dondero Loop, Senator Gocochea, Senator Hammond, Senator Hansen, Senator Hardy, Senator Harris, Senator Kekeffer, Senator Lang, Senator Neal, Senator Orenshaw, Senator Pickard, Senator Ratty, Senator Scheibel, Senator Sievers-Gansert, Senator Settlemeyer, Senator Spearman.
Here.
Let the record.
Here.
Thank you. Let the record reflect there are 21 senators present. Please rise for the invocation by the Reverend Chad Adamick, St. Paul's Lutheran Church, Carson City.
Thank you. I invite you to open your hearts and pray with me. Gracious God, make each of us an instrument of your grace. Weave us into a people showing forth your power and tenderness. Bless us and our differences and undergird our courage to stand together. Lead us to better know you and glorify you on each step of the journey of our lives, as this body considers legislation for the people of this great state. In your many and holy names, let us now keep silence and breathe in the love of God. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Order business number 3, the reading and approval of the journals dispensed with for the remainder of the legislative session on this day. By previous order of the Senate, the reading of the journals dispensed with and President and Secretary are authorized to make the necessary corrections in addition. Order business number 9, motions, resolutions, and notices.
Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 1, introduced by Senators Hardy, etc., urges employers of this state to provide personal protective equipment to employees to prevent the spread of COVID-19. End of resolution.
Senator, are there any amendments to the joint resolution as a whole?
There are none. End of resolution.
Are there any remarks from the floor? Senator Hardy?
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. I move that we adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 1.
There's no amendments, right? So there are no amendments to the. I'm on the wrong one. Okay. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, the Secretary will open the roll.
Mr. President Pro Tem.
Senator Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. According to the Federal Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention, the virus that causes COVID-19 spreads very easily from person to person. Thus, personal protective equipment such as face masks, face coverings, and hand sanitizer is critical to reduce transmission. Because of the risk of death or severe health outcomes posed by COVID-19 being pandemic, it is important for employers in this state to protect employees against the exposure in the workplace. Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem.
Thank you. Are there further remarks?
Mr. President Pro Tem.
Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. Apparently, if I just push my mic button, it doesn't let you know enough information, so my apologies for that. I wanted to take a moment to thank Senator slash Dr. Hardy for bringing forward this resolution and throw the full support of the Senate Committee on Health and Human Services behind this resolution. I appreciate the notion that employers should be requested to make sure that their employees have protective equipment like masks, like hand sanitizer, like the kinds of dividers and things that we've had the benefit of as members of this body, and the notion of promoting how important it is to wear face masks. Today I have worn my Dr. Fauci themed face mask for the occasion, but today I'm going to call it the Dr. Hardy themed face mask because I think it's a close enough resemblance. And I just appreciate, he might have a little bit more hair. I appreciate the notion, I appreciate the promotion of wearing masks. We are still, even though things are looking up, and I think we're all very happy that things are looking up, we are still deep in a pandemic with some levels of spread in our community that are still alarming, and I would just like to work with Senator Dr. Hardy to make sure that we are promoting taking care of ourselves and each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Spearman.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tempore. I just wanted to say I thank Senator Dr. Hardy for bringing this bill forward. We have the alarming number of 500 million, more than 500 million of our fellow Americans who have died as a result of complications from this. And it is my hope and my prayer and my dream, as a matter of fact, that with this, we will be one step closer to making sure that everyone has not just the right to life, but that can live. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yay. Opposed, nay. The motion is carried. The resolution is adopted and ordered transmitted to the Assembly. Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tempore. I move that Jasmine Orozco Rodriguez from the Nevada Independent be accepted and accredited as a member of the press, and that she be allowed to use the appropriate meeting facilities in the legislative building.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying yay. Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
And that concludes order of business number 9.
Order of business number 10. Introductions, first reading, and reference.
Senate Bill number 137, introduced by Senators Severs, Gansert, et cetera, and Assemblyman Tolles and Roberts, establishes provisions relating to certain information and records concerning public safety. End of bill.
Senator Severs, Gansert.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. I move that Senate Bill 137 be referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Severs, Gansert has referred Senate Bill 137 to the Committee on Judiciary. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Senate Bill number 138, introduced by Senators Lane, et cetera, revises provisions relating to plan development. End of bill.
Senator Lang.
Thank you, Senator Pro Tempore. I move that Senate Bill 138, which revises provisions relating to plan development, be referred to Government Affairs.
Senator Lang has referred Senate Bill number 138 to the Committee on Government Affairs. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Senate Bill number 139, introduced by Senators Scheibel and Harris, requires certain health insurance to cover treatment of certain conditions relating to gender dysphoria. End of bill.
Senator Scheibel.
I move that Senate Bill 139 be referred to the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Senator Scheibel has referred Senate Bill 139 to the Committee on Commerce and Labor. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
And that concludes order of business number 10.
Order business number 12, second reading.
Senate Bill number 15, introduced by Senate Committee on Government Affairs, revises provisions relating to grant procurement, coordination, and management. People, State of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1, Div. Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill?
There are none.
Senate Bill number 15 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill number 16, introduced by Senate Committee on Government Affairs, revises provisions relating to Nevada Commission on Minority Affairs of the Department of Business and Industry. The people, State of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1, Div. Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill?
There are none.
Senate Bill 16 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill number 28, introduced by Senate Committee on Government Affairs, revises provisions in Nevada Code of Military Justice. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1 to Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill?
There are none.
Senate Bill number 28 is ordered to the general file.
And that concludes order of business number 12.
Order of business number 13, general file.
Senate Bill number 17, introduced by Senate Committee on Growth and Infrastructure, revises provisions governing motor vehicles. People of the state of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1 to Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill as a whole?
There are none. Section 6, this act becomes effective July 1, 2021. End of bill.
Are there any remarks from the floor? Senator Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Senate Bill 17 revises provisions relating to driver training schools by removing the requirement that a school that provides only online classroom instruction maintain a physical business location, requiring that the books and records of the school be kept at the school's principal place of business, providing that the Department of Motor Vehicles be allowed to inspect those records during normal business hours, and setting the retention period for such records at 3 years after a person ceases to be licensed as an operator of a school for training drivers. This measure also grants DMV discretionary authority to renew certain instruction permits.
Thank you. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, the secretary will open the roll.
Senator Spearman, do you vote yes or no on Senate Bill number 17?
I vote yes.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to change his or her vote? The secretary will close the vote. The vote on Senate Bill 17 is 21 yeas, having received a this one is having received a constitutional majority is declared passed and ordered to the Assembly.
Senate Bill number 23, introduced by Senate Committee on Natural Resources, revises provisions relating to State Conservation Commission. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1 to Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill as a whole?
There are none. Section 2, this act becomes effective upon passage and approval. End of bill.
Are there any remarks from the floor? Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Senate Bill 23 revises the boundaries of the areas from which certain members of the State Conservation Commission are appointed. The bill moves Mineral County from Area 3, which includes Clark, Esmeralda, Lincoln, Nye, and White Pine counties, to Area 2, which includes Carson City and Churchill, Douglas, Lyon, Story, and Washoe counties.
Thank you. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, the secretary will open the roll.
Senator Spearman, do you vote yes or no on Senate Bill 23?
I vote yes.
Anyone wishing to change his or her vote? Secretary will close the roll. The vote on Senate Bill 23 is 21 yeas. The bill, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed and ordered to the Assembly.
Senate Bill number 29, introduced by Senate Committee on Growth and Infrastructure, authorizes the appointment of an agent of the Department of Motor Vehicles to issue salvage titles. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in the Senate Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1 to Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill as a whole?
There are none. Section 3, end of bill. This bill requires a 2/3 majority vote.
Are there any remarks from the floor? Senator Hammond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tempore. Senate Bill 29 allows the Department of Motor Vehicles to enter into contracts, appointing a person to act as its agent in the issuance of a salvage title or titles and the collection of statutory fees, provided the person meets certain qualifications. Qualifications include a background check and posting of a bond of not less than $50,000. The department may conduct audits and investigations of such agents as it deems necessary.
Thank you. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, the secretary will open the roll.
Senator Spearman, do you vote yes or no on Senate Bill 29?
I vote yes.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to change his or her vote? The secretary will close the roll. The vote on Senate Bill 29 is 21 yeas. Having received a 2/3 majority, is declared passed and ordered to the Assembly.
Senate Bill number 52, introduced by Senate Committee on Natural Resources, requires the establishment of a program for awarding a dark sky designation to certain sites in the state. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in the Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Section 1, div. Section 1.
Are there any amendments to the bill as a whole?
There are none. Section 2.2, end of bill.
Are there any remarks from the floor? Senator Doñate.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President Pro Tempore. Senate Bill 52 requires the administrator of the Division of Outdoor Recreation within the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources to establish by regulation a program for awarding a dark sky designation to sites in Nevada that possess varying degrees of exceptional or distinguished quality of starry nights and nocturnal environment that is specifically protected for its scientific, natural, and educational value, as well as for public enjoyment. The regulation must include categories for which a site may be awarded such a designation, standards for awarding such designation, and procedures for applying for such designation, for reviewing and suspending or revoking such designation, and for appealing such a suspension or revocation.
Thank you. Are there further remarks? Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. I support the bill, because it's based on a voluntary program. There have been some rumblings apparently in other areas where they've tried to make this mandatory and actually come up with all sorts of programs which require screening and so forth. So I am in favor of the bill, but I want to make sure that the record reflects that as long as it's a voluntary program, that's completely acceptable. The bulk of these areas are actually in my district, and so I'm very happy to have the added tourism that will help in these areas. But my fear is down the road, we've kind of got the camel's nose under the tent, so I just want to make sure in the future that if this issue comes up again and they switch just from voluntary to mandatory, that we carefully review that again. So thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. I just want to express my enthusiasm for this. In another capacity, am a volunteer on the Great Basin National Park Foundation Board of Directors. And many of you may know that Great Basin National Park is one of the best dark sky environments in the lower 48. The foundation has done some work to build an observatory within the park, which is the only observatory in the nation that is in a national park. And because of the phenomenal dark skies that we experience in the great state of Nevada, they are able to do that with a much lower power than they might be able to do anywhere else. It includes a partnership with 4 universities where students are able to remotely get into that observatory and fulfill additional research because of our tremendous dark skies. So it's just a super, super cool thing that I wanted to take a minute and recognize and thank the Committee on Natural Resources for bringing forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will say that my family loves to go out and take advantage of this. So this is a great thing for Nevada. Are there any further remarks? Hearing none, the Secretary will open the roll.
Senator Spearman, do you vote yes or no on Senate Bill number 52?
I vote yes.
Does anyone wish to change his or her vote? The Secretary will close the roll. The vote on Senate Bill 52, 21 yeas, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed and ordered to the Assembly.
And that concludes order of business number 13 and business of the desk for this legislative day.
Order of business number 16, remarks from the floor, introductions of guests. We don't have guests. Any? Senator Settlemeyer.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Considering that we're about ready to cross the threshold to 100 days left of session, and since the City of Las Vegas and Clark County have all been open to business and for public meetings, Henderson is open to business, and they're starting public meetings this week. North Las Vegas is also being open for public meetings this week. And even Washoe County Commissioners' chambers will be open to 35% capacity. It's my hope that this body could open up soon to the regulations that have been set forth by the governor, whatever those may be. Currently, that's 35%. Currently, that's 6 feet of distancing and the wearing of masks. I see no reason that we should be shut down to the general public, unlike the businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hammond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tempore. I just wanted to say over the weekend we had a very interesting event happened in Tahoe. I think many people were aware that the Las Vegas Golden Knights flew up here to play the Colorado Avalanche. And I think the first game of their, at least that I know of, that the Golden Knights played here in Tahoe. It was an amazing event. But it led me to remember that on this day in 1980, a very young American team, averaging the average age, I believe, was about 22, took on the world's greatest hockey team, a team that had not lost a gold medal since 1964 in what would become known as the Miracle on Ice game. I was very young at the time. I won't tell you how young, but it was the single greatest event and moment in my young life, and I think in the history of the United States. It became a signature statement by that particular team, the amount of work that they put into that season leading up to that event. Now, that wasn't the gold medal round. I mean, I know a lot of people believe that was the gold medal game. It was actually the playoffs. 4 teams were in that. The United States team would come back 2 days later on the 24th of February to win the gold medal. But it definitely was one of the highlights of that Olympic season. And so in commemoration of that, I just want to make sure we remembered the Miracle on Ice.
Thank you, Senator Hammond. All right, I don't have any further. If there's nothing further on this order, Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tempore. On that note, I would move that the Senate stand in adjournment until the hour of 11 a.m. on Tuesday, February 23rd of 2021.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The motion is carried. The Senate is adjourned.